Hello my loves, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be playing with the Kat Von D 10th Anniversary Gold Palette Edition, and I'm so excited. So if you guys want to know how to get this look that I have here, there's a lot of greens, blues, golds, yellow liner, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay guys, so let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you what the palette looks like, which is fucking gorgeous. So this is the package that it came in. And this palette dropped on Cinco de Mayo, so it was like a really cool time for her to release it. On the back you have all of the shades, and I will be swatching this in just a sec. So I just want to open it and like show you guys like the packaging on it because it's like gorgeous. The entire line is like all gold and decked out, and it's amazing. So this she hand sketched in the front, which is a different, like just more of a different vibe than like her other palettes, but of course she's a tattoo artist and everything, so this is kind of expected from her, and she has like her signature down at the bottom. I just think this is such a cool palette. It's definitely so much different than all my other palettes. She's known for doing like crazy packaging, and I love it. On the back it's kind of funky. It has all the shade names, and I don't really know which one belongs where. You can see the camera, so I kind of don't know which one belongs where because it doesn't have like the colors on it like this does. So if I wanted to know the shade names, I kind of have to refer back to this, which is a little bit annoying, but it's okay. So when you open it up, if you guys have seen on my Instagram, this is what it looks like, and it's just gorgeous. So it's a lot of really colorful colors, and I'm so excited for it because I'm trying to branch out of my 35B. So this has a ton of different colors. It's very rainbow-like in my opinion, and it kind of reminds me of the last palette that I have from her, or that I purchased from her, which is this one. So this is the Saint Center palette from Kat Von D, and I wanted to kind of compare the two just side by side so you guys can kind of see that they're a little similar but not too much. So this is the Saint Center palette, and then this is the I don't even know what the name of this palette is. I guess the 10-year anniversary palette. So as you can see, there's a lot of similarities between the two. So I'm going to swatch the top row first and then the bottom row second, and I'll just swatch them with my arm and just show you guys some shots of that. Okay, so here's a live swatch for you guys. So the first brown shade is in the shade Adele. Next to that you have the shade called Malice. The orangey shade is called Ashley. The shade in the middle is called Gina. The gold shade is called Egypt. The shade next to that is called Sylvia. The green shade is called Lala, and then that intense turquoise one is called Leafar. I think that's how you pronounce it. So as you guys can see, it's a pretty chalky pigmentation aside of this last color here. That's extremely pigmented. And then this color is so weird. Like, I'm going to do a live swatch for you. So this is what it looks like in the pan. So it's definitely more of a lighter tone, but if I do a live swatch, it comes off as a different color, which is so weird. So I'm just going to do it like right here. So it kind of oxidizes, which I don't know if you guys can tell or not, like at this bottom portion. But it oxidizes into this really weird color, which, I mean, it's actually not, it's not weird, it's pretty, but it's just weird that it oxidizes from that light shade to this like really pretty transition color. So I thought that was kind of weird. As you guys can see, again, they are pretty patchy aside of this color. So I'm just going to go ahead and swatch the next row, and we'll see what we think about that row. Okay guys, so this is the second row of color. So the first white shade that you see is called Melanie. The pink one is called Alexandra. Then you have Nancy, which is my favorite shade. Then you have Catherine number 2. The shade after that, the blue one, is called Helly. Sarah is after that, Carolyn, and then Chad. So as you guys can see, the colors are a little bit more pigmented in the second row, which I'm super excited about. The last three are kind of chalky, and the first white shade is kind of chalky, but the other ones in the middle are really nice, and I'm really digging this iridescent color, and these two purple ones. Actually, these three, like right here, are really calling my name. Even this one a little bit. It's still a little patchy and chalky, but I like this row so much more better than the first row. The first row is definitely a lot more patchy. So I kind of have a feel on which colors I'm going to go ahead and use and play with. Okay, so after swatching these, I kind of want to go towards the warm shades because I feel like those just swatch a lot better. But I definitely want to do something more colorful because, of course, this is a colorful palette. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and try and work with like these shades here and see what I can come up with. So this is mainly going to be an eye tutorial just because this is mostly on the palette. It's more of a review and demo, so I'm going to get you guys a little bit closer just so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so now that I look really fucking gross up close, let's just go ahead and take care of these eyes. Okay, so I'm first going to go in with the shade Gina, which is this yellow toned shade right here. And I'm going to apply that all over the lid more as a transition color with a big fluffy brush. And guys, I just want you to see that this has a lot of kickback. I don't know if you can see that, but like there's powder everywhere, and when I dusted off my brush right now, it like kind of went all over the place. So we'll just see how it works and all of that. But let's just go ahead and play with it and see how it performs on the eye, because if it has a lot of kickback and its swatch is really crappy, it's completely different when you actually put it on. So let's try that out. And again, I'm just using my Morphe E23 brush. Okay, so this color is actually blending out really nicely. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like gorgeous. I really love it. So I'm just blending this all the way up to the eyebrow. If you guys have watched any of my tutorials, you guys know that I just love blending all the way up. It just makes any look so much more dramatic, and it just looks more blended. It doesn't look like, you know, concealer, highlight, and then the shadow. It just looks so much better in my opinion. Okay, so next we're going to come in with a fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to use this olive tone shade here, and this is in the shade Lala. So this is one of the shades that didn't swatch well on the arm, so we'll see on the eye. And it's coming off really patchy. I don't know if you guys can see that. So far, it isn't doing too well. Like, it's kind of hard to blend out. So let me just try to go back and forth a little more and see if I can try and get this diffused. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell here, it's like super patchy. Like, it doesn't even look green. It comes off more as a gray in my opinion. So to kind of help fix this up a little bit, I'm going to go back in with the shade Gina, and I'm going to blend these two colors together with the big fluffy brush so that it kind of mixes or combines somehow, because right now it's just looking a hot mess. It just looks like I have a black eye, and I'm not about that life. Okay, so by adding that yellow, it really helped me out. It looks a little bit more blended, which is great. Now the next shade I'm going to come in with is this blue. I'm really drawn to it, and I think it's swatched pretty okay. It's really patchy, but it's also pretty pigmented at the same time. So I'm just going to apply that in the outer corners, and I'm just using my Morphe M330 brush for that. So I'm just making these circular type motions and then kind of putting it in the crease a little bit. I'm not going to bring it all the way out here because I want to put the shade right above it over that. So I'm just kind of doing this motion. Okay, so the shade that I'm going to put all over the lid is this one here, and it's called Leafer or Lafar. I can't really pronounce it. And I'm just going to pack that all over the lid with a small packing brush. Whoa. Like, I was actually thinking about wetting this shade a little bit, but I do not need that. This shade is so intense, and I love it. So now I'm just going to go back in with the shade Chad, and I'm going to blend these two colors together. Just because I feel like I lost a little bit of the blue. I feel like it's kind of oxidizing too. Like, again, it just looks a little more gray, and I want this to be a more vibrant tone. So to spice this up a bit, and instead of it just being too like green and bluish, I'm going to use the gold shade, which is called Egypt, and I'm going to mix that a little bit in the inner corner of my eyes. It's kind of like where the lid space is, so like I'm barely going to mix this in a little. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's giving me kind of like a lime green color, which I'm actually really digging. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and I kind of really like it. It's giving me like serious peacock vibes, but I'm just going to go back in with Gina again just to mix these two colors together. I was trying to go more for like a yellow and lime green kind of vibe, but obviously this went in a completely different direction, so I want to make sure the yellow pops out just a little bit, even if it's from the transition. Okay guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera, and when we come back we'll do lips, lashes, and we'll do the under eyeshadow. Okay guys, so we are back. The color that I used for my highlight in the inner corners looks really well. So the one that I use is the Butter Highlight by Physicians Formula, and this is in the shade Champagne. I mentioned this in a monthly favorites video. I think this is such a gorgeous shade. It's definitely not a champagne color, it's more of a gold tone, and I think it looks really nice paired with this eye. So next we're just going to go ahead and put on some lashes, and the lashes that I'm going to be using today are these bold lashes, and these are in the style Sassy Since Birth. So to spice this look up a little bit, I'm just using the ColourPop yellow liner, and this is in the shade Punch. Okay, so now that everything's pretty much done, we're just going to go ahead and put some lipstick on, and the lipstick I'm going to use is the new Kylie Jenner Velvet Lipstick, and this is in the shade Bear. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and set our makeup, and I'm using the Urban Decay D6 setting spray. Okay guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. My overall thoughts and opinions on this palette is that I actually do like it. I feel like if you're going for something more colorful though, and that's like a staple that you need, I wouldn't pick up this palette. I would more so go to the 35B by Morphe, but this has really good options in it. So even though some of the shades were a little bit streaky, I feel like some of the shades, like obviously this one's super pigmented, as well as this one's just gorgeous. Like all the shimmer shades are really nice. And then I think this blue is a little hard to blend out, but the color itself is gorgeous. Again, I was a really big fan of these 3 shades here as well, which, what's new, I love the warm shades. So overall, I think that this palette is a pass for me. I do like it. I just wish that they weren't as chalky and streaky and a little bit easier to blend out. I would definitely recommend at least swatching it in the store to see if you like it, and you can determine yourself if you think this is worth a buy or not. But anyways guys, I will see you guys next week for another video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I work really hard on these videos and I hope that you guys are enjoying them too. Let me know what you think I can improve on or anything that you want to see in the future, because this is something that I really want to perfect. But aside of asking you guys to work for me, I will see you next week. Bye guys.